Okay, here we go. I'm going to do a swing analysis today of Nelly Korda. Just want to say that she's a very talented young player. She has an absolutely amazing golf swing here. So we're going to look at some techniques and traits that she's using in her swing. We have an iron on the right we'll take a look at, and then we also have a driver swing here on the left from a different viewpoint we'll get to look at. So let's first concentrate here on her setup, see what's going on, and then we'll get into her swing here on the right here with her iron. Alright, so when I look at her setup here, just zoom in on the grip here real quick. Her left hand appears to be in a good position on top of the club. You can see her right hand is complementing it well, and you can see that her right index finger is hooked off in a nice position. So the grip itself looks really nice. When I draw some lines up here from her feet, you can see that she's done a very good job of centering herself. Her arms are hanging in a nice V here out in front of her, really relaxed. You can see her knees are pointed in just a little bit. You can see that her feet are splayed out just a touch of perpendicular. Also, you can notice that the ball itself is kind of running on her left eye line, and if you look at the club, it just has a little bit of forward press in it. So overall, this is an excellent job here on the right with her setup. Now when I look at her setup here on the left, you can see she's just standing nice and tall in a very comfortable, relaxed position. So you can notice that there's not any tension here in this setup. This will allow her to move freely at will. You can notice that her feet are slightly closed, but remember that she prefers to draw the golf ball. You can see the hook of that index finger. It's going to help her control the club. Arms look like they're hanging. Again, just in a nice relaxed position under her. So the setup on the left looks excellent. So her setup is really nice. Okay, so she goes to wind up. Look how well of a job she's doing here of staying in that little box. See how she hasn't swayed off to her right side. The weight's mainly on the inside of the right foot. And you can see here on the left, she hasn't come off this left line at all. Alright, so she's just kind of pivoting around this left side. So she's done a good job of just staying centered while at the same time being able to get a really full turn from her upper body and allowing her lower body the freedom it needs to turn. So this, the job she's done here on the right of pivoting is really, really good. Now if you focus here on her transition, you can see that she's now allowing weight to flow to her left side. See how it's getting back out in front of the line. The foot itself's not spinning out. It's still maintaining a good position here on the ground. You can see that the right leg is starting to drive into the ball. Now from here, you'll notice that she starts to post up on her left leg. Okay, and from here, her left foot, her left knee, her left hip, and left shoulder are all really close to that line there. So she's done a good job of covering the shot here with her iron and staying on top of it. You see again the right foot's now starting to drive off the ground as she's posting up and kind of allowing her core and everything to turn to her finish. You see from here she's really allowing all the weight to kind of flow over here to the left side. Okay, so let's focus here on the left for just a moment on her lower body. Now this black line that's running on her skirt, I'm just going to go ahead and mark it with a yellow line, and we're going to wind her up to the top. You can see that she's allowing the freedom of that to kind of turn as she's winding up and really getting a good coil from her hips there. Now you can see as she's done that, she's still able to maintain flexion in her right knee. She's allowed her left leg the freedom it needs to kind of wind up with the shot. Okay, so at this moment I'm going to go ahead and just mark the club head. And what I want you to focus on is her left side, how she's going to start getting into that before she even starts her downswing. So she's still on her backswing. You can see that she's starting to lean into that left side and getting that weight flowing that way. So see, she's doing an excellent job of creating the proper sequence on her downswing. From here, you can see that line on her skirt there is going to start uncoiling. Okay? And that's going to give her the core power she needs through the ball. We'll go back to the right. I'm just going to focus on her club and her upper body here for a moment. So as she starts back, you can see how she's allowing that club to stay on her left arm, maintaining good width, and she does an excellent job of that. If you look how far the club is away from her shoulder at this moment, again, she's created a very wide arc here, not allowing the club to hinge too quickly. Her elbows are in a good position here where they've maintained the same distance from each other. Okay, now if you look here, as she arrives towards the top of her swing, see how much higher her hands are than her head here at this moment. So she's created a very wide arc going back. Alright, good width off the takeaway, nice high hands at the top. Okay, so we'll go over to her driver swing here on the left and just focus on kind of her upper body and the club. So you can see as she's going back again, she's doing a great job of maintaining width. Club's kind of right in line with her hands there, and she hasn't let her V or her triangle break down. Alright, as she continues to swing to the top, you can see her club's now kind of setting at this angle, and she arrives towards the top of her swing. Notice the club itself kind of crosses the line a little bit this way. A lot of that's due to just how good of a job she's doing of turning her upper body. You see her arm though supports the club in a very vertical position here on the right arm. Right elbow's running right on top of the right hip there. And her left arm, she's doing an excellent job of full extension, and like we showed there on the left, really high hands to establish a very wide swing arc. Alright, now she begins down, like we were mentioning before. She's doing a great job of getting into her left side as the club's still swinging back. That way she's making sure that her body is going to start this downswing and the weight's going to flow that way, allowing the club to come with her. Alright, now as she gets into this angle, you can see it's now starting to fall about there. And remember when she went back, the club was kind of setting at about the same angle here. Alright, so you can see she's doing a good job of creating some parallel lines as far as how the club's setting and falling. Alright, now whenever we're getting into the hitting zone, you can see how good of a job she's doing of letting the left arm get out in front. Left hand looks in a good position where it's pointed slightly down there. Right arm in a great position here into her right side. This is excellent extension through the ball. You can see she's not letting anything interrupt or bunch up her swing there. And again, just a nice free-flowing swing all the way to her finish. Club's releasing at a good angle. You can see the back of her left hand has released at a good angle there. They call that Spider-Man. You get the back of your left hand looking like that, that's called Spider-Man. Now, when she goes all the way through here, again like we were showing there on the right, she has a very nice full finish. Okay, that was Nelly Korda, and I just want to compliment her on how well of a job she has done with her golf swing, and I wish her the best of luck on tour, and I'm sure she's going to have a bright future. So you all have a good day now, and thank you.